O'Reilly update. More analysis later on.
From the bedroom to the boardroom, thousands are getting their day started with the first news, weather, and sports on the morning show with Jim Bishop here on WCAB Rutherfordton.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. You can always find people who are helping. Thank you to all the first responders who put their lives in danger to help us when my brothers and sisters need them. We look out for the helpers because they look out for us.
Thank you, first responders! Thank you, first responders!
Learn how you can help first responders by texting BRAVE to 24365.
Richard Brimsley Sherton Clark was born in New York in 1838. As a young child, he knew what he wanted to do for the rest of his life, be a gambler. He learned to shuffle and deal, and before he was 21, he headed out west. When the Civil War broke out, he was already a veteran at the poker table. So Clark joined the Union Army, not to fight, but to gamble. He figured a soldier really didn't earn his money, so there was nothing wrong with taking it away from him, and he did. After his stint in the Army, he started following the cattle towns, Abilene, Dodge City, and Newton, Kansas. A newspaper referred to him as one of the cleverest poker players in the country. His face, while engaged in play, is one of the most impassive and stony I ever saw. In 1880, he ended up in Tombstone, Arizona, where he owned the Alhambra Saloon and then the Oriental. But a gambler's life was a hard one. He contracted tuberculosis and developed an addiction to morphine. Hoping a change in his surroundings would help his health, he got married, adopted a child, and tried his hand as a cattle rancher. But rustlers stole his cattle and employees cheated him. So Clark returned to gambling to support the ranch. Now in his 50s, Clark looked and acted like a man in his 70s. In early 1893, Richard Clark went to Chicago, hoping to find a doctor who could help him cure his morphine addiction. Unfortunately, his case was hopeless. On October 29, during his trip back to Tombstone, Richard Clark died in Albuquerque. He was returned to Tombstone and buried in Boot Hill. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James has added 2 new sandwiches to his already delightful menu, along with the fresh-cooked burgers, sandwiches, fresh salads, hot dogs made to order. Now try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. Both come with sides. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford, or call 828-447-4644. And Mondays only, hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
It is a tremendous Thursday morning on this 28th day. A month's about gone. It's drifting on by pretty fast. 16 minutes after 7. Let's go to the phones now to find out what's been going on at the Sheriff's Department. And we have Sheriff Chris Francis to give us that update. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. Hope you're doing well this morning.
I am doing well. I'm looking forward to a brand new month coming up here pretty soon. And that means Thanksgiving. That means turkey and dressing and all those good things.
I'm sitting here thinking about it right now. Looking forward to it myself.
Tell us what's been going on.
Last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 170 calls for service. There have been 8 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 180. Among those arrested by the Sheriff's Office, Camilla Janine Miller, 36-year-old female Spindale, was charged with communicating threats, assault, and child abuse. City District Court judge for bond. James Donald Dover, 44-year-old male of Forest City, was charged on a true bill. Also for habitual felon and also a trespass, received a written promise to appear. Tyronica Lee Davenport, 46-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with communicating threats and simple assault and received a written promise to appear. Melissa Joetta Katz, 44-year-old female of Old Fort, was charged with 5 counts of failure to appear. received a $2,500 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had a larceny on U.S. 74 Business Baltic at Dollar General. There were some reading glasses that were taken. Appears to be a shoplifting case, and the person was able to get out of the store. Those glasses were valued at $6. Had a larceny at Race Bath Church Road. It was a G2 9mm handgun valued at $417. The victim had someone house sitting, and when he returned, that firearm was missing. Had a damage to property on Booger Holler Road in Ellenborough. There was a bullet hole in a building located on that property. Jim, that's what we had to report at this time.
All right, Sheriff. I appreciate the report, and I hope you have a safe day out there, and keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Sheriff Chris Francis reporting again on this Thursday morning, 18 past the hour.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts, Christmas at your fingertips.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Explore a woodland Christmas with forest-inspired decorations for the merriest time of year, and shop hundreds of booths to find one-of-a-kind gifts for everyone on your list. Buy tickets online and save at southernChristmasShow.com.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Well, the Braves had a bad night last night against the Astros. They lost 7-2. Astros beat them 7-2. They're off tonight, but be playing again tomorrow night. And we have a little conflict with high school football and the Braves, but we'll do the high school football. Then the Braves still playing, of course. We'll jump in and carry the Braves game on Friday night. And here's Amanda now with our 911 report. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning.
Tell us what's on your report.
Well, in the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 327 911 calls and administrative calls, which consist of 30 for the emergency medical services, 170 for the Sheriff's Office, 21 for Forest City, 2 for Lake Lure, 16 for Rutherfordton, and 23 for Spindale. Bostic Fire Department had a motor vehicle crash, and SDO had a motor vehicle fire, and that is all.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
And this word to the veterans. The Forrest W. Hunt Elementary School is inviting all veterans to a drive-through celebration at Forrest Hunt Elementary on November the 12th from 12:30 until 1:30. The students would like to thank the veterans for their service with a small gift. So keep that in mind, veterans. That is November the 12th. From 12:30 to 1:30 is a drive-through there at Forrest Hunt Elementary. Here is Ruby Taylor now reporting from Danieltown SDO Fire District. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
Well, the fire department had one call, and that was to a vehicle fire. And I don't have no birthdays today. And the signs are in the heart today and tomorrow. And, Jim, that's all I got.
I appreciate it, Ruby. Have a good day.
You too, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
We're being kind today to Donna Hughes. Donna's having a birthday today, so we want to wish her a happy. She's a real estate agent now and celebrating another birthday, so happy birthday, Donna. Let's check in with Gary Wilson now up at the Fairfield Mountains Fire District. We're looking also at things in Bills Creek community. Gary, how you doing this morning?
Good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Ready for this rain to come and get behind us now?
Yeah, I got coming in today and tonight and part of the day tomorrow, sounds like.
Yep.
an all-day soaker today tonight, the way it sounds. So we'll roll in here about mid-morning and see what happens. I guess it's about 46 degrees here this morning, a little warmer than yesterday. Yesterday was kind of on the chilly side. But quiet overnight, no fire calls here, none at Bill's Creek, and everything's as peaceful as it can be right now. We'll see how long we can keep it that way.
Boy, I hope that stays like that a while.
I like to see it myself.
Yeah. All right,
This
Gary.
rain will sure help with the leaves and everything, though.
Pardon me?
This rain will sure help dampen the leaves and everything down. So that's a
It
good
will,
thing.
won't it? It sure will. It'll help them fall and also dampen them out on the road. So it'll also cause the roads to be a little slick with leaves, too. So extra caution. All right, Gary, thank you
That's
so
all we
much.
got.
You have a great
All
day
right.
up there. Be careful, and I'll see you.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Now here's the Vern over in Bostic, North Carolina. Vern, how are things in that nice little town of Bostic?
It's doing pretty good this morning, Jim. We got a cool morning, 42 degrees. Fire department had 2 calls. Both of them were motor vehicle accidents. And don't forget to go by Whistle Stop Bakery there on Main Street, just as you cross the railroad track. It'll be on the right, and check her out.
Anything else going on?
That'll be it.
All right. You have a great day over there in Bostic. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. You never thought about this? You just don't know who to call when it comes to tax time. You got problems with taxes, or maybe an audit, or you have bookkeeping problems. Well, listen up. You know, nothing strikes fear in the hearts of people more than receiving an IRS audit letter in the mail. Audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds of records, and can become overwhelming unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you. That's why we can recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of that for you, so you can get back to the job of running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number, 828-395-1777. They're at 211 West Main Street, Spindale. Again, that's 395-1777, and it's spelled A-R-Y-E-E. Well, thank you, Jim. 726, now let's head toward the Hutto Fire District. Mr. Bob Hodge, good morning.
Well, good Thursday morning.
It is a dark one out there so far, but it'll be brightening up here pretty soon.
Well, yeah, it's real dark over here this morning there. Must be a little cloudy out here this morning. So looks like, according to the weather, we'll get a little rain for the next couple of days there. Not too much, but just a little rain, and cloudy and cool there.
As aggravating as rain can be sometime, I guess we really need some more rain, don't we?
Well, yeah, we could always use a little wrecking there. No. But better to have a little rain, be too dry, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's right. And considering what they're going through up in Massachusetts, we are really blessed here in the South. They got 300,000 people without power up there due to a storm just went through.
Oh, we live in a good place, Jim. We don't have the storms that some of these other places have, so we're lucky.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, up here with the fire department, that been quiet overnight. We hadn't had any fire calls. On Wilson Baptist Church, we'll be having a fall festival this coming Saturday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And after 7, they'll be having a trick or treat for the kids there. And then also they'll be having a revival starting Sunday, October the 31st, and run through November the 3rd. And also, Hudlow Fire Department will be giving out Halloween candy Saturday from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And Jim, that's about it up here in our neck of the woods this morning. And you take care, and you have a good day over there.
Bob, I will. You too, and you and I, Virginia, have a good one, and we'll talk again tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's the Hudlow Fire District report with Bob Hodge this morning. Now, many of you do this. I have family members that do it as well. Order gifts from who knows where they're coming from, China, places like that, all around the world through these mail order companies and get it in a couple of days, and which is convenient. But let me remind you and ask you, this year when you start to buy gifts, buy from a place that sells American-made products, even North Carolina-made products. That would be Washburn Store. You can find a lot of gift suggestions there at Washburn Store, and many of the items they sell made in North Carolina, and most of them made in good old US of A. So check out some things that you would like to give somebody that you'll find there at Washburn Store, and know that it is providing jobs for Americans and providing jobs for North Carolinians. So shop this year at Washburn Store and do yourself a favor and do America a favor by shopping Washburn General Store. You'll find them between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. All right, Sue Price is next on our phone line, and she's over the Cherry Mountain Fire District to give us the news from there. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope you are.
I am indeed.
Just another pretty morning over here, and I've got another pretty sunrise. Just a red sky, so pretty. Looking out my front door.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. Have nothing on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I've got a birthday for Pastor Gary Smith. And I've got an anniversary. I'm not sure I've got the correct date on it, but I'm going to give it anyway, for Ronnie and Ann Brandel. And they don't show up on Fairview, so I'm not sure that I've got the right date on that one. But anyway, if they're having one, we hope they have a good one. And on First Broad's calendar, they've got birthdays for Morris Smith, Pastor Gary Smith, Morris Queen and Pastor Gary Smith, Cotton Yelton, and Whisper Yelton. So, got to get them in on First Fairview's calendar for today. Nothing on First Broad's. So, not too many celebrating, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And in my announcements, the Golden Valley Community Club is selling Boston butts with all the fixings. You can call 828-447-2969 to order. And the pickup is on November the 20th. So, and you need to order before November the 6th. And this will be to have prepaid before the date. And so far, I guess that's the only one I have. It's just quiet and calm over here, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. You enjoy your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, it's the talk of the town when it happens. So get ready for the Cozy Home Sale November 4th, 5th, and 6th next week. So do your early holiday shopping with Cozy Home specials like these. Towel sets, $20. Bamboo sheets, those are great. Very popular. 6-piece towel bath sets, only $20. King quilts, $20. Queen fleece sets, $10. Baby blankets, only $5. The popular gel pillows are on sale. Toss pillows are on sale for only $10. Don't forget your favorite pet dog beds, too. They've got those while this sale's going on. Bring your list and load up now during the sale. November 4th, 5th, and 6th, 10 until 5 Thursday and Friday. They close at 2 on Saturdays. Cozy Home Warehouse sells a big one. You know it is, on Duke Street beside Henson Building Materials, so spread the word. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Well, our high school football game of the week Friday night is going to be RS Central at Chase, 7 o'clock countdown, 7:30 countdown, 7 o'clock, I guess, airtime, 7:30 countdown. And then we'll join the Braves following that game. Now, the Braves will be playing their third game against the Astros. After losing last night, they'll take today off, and they play tomorrow night. And we have the conflict there with high school football, and the Braves will do the high school football game first. And then when that game's over, we'll go directly into the World Series game with the Braves and the Astros. And looks like Saturday there may be a UNC game. We'll see what happens there with the Braves and the Astros. It's a lot of conflict with sports, but we're trying our best to get it all in for you. All right, we're heading over toward the Drop-In Family Mart in Bostic, and we have Audrey on the phone with us this morning to give us the news from that great place. Good morning, Audrey.
Good morning. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Are you busy over there?
Yes, Lord, they're working poor old Jess to death back here in this deli, but, you know, that's what we want to do, you know.
Well, she does a good job, and turns out some good food back there.
Yeah, and she's by herself this morning, so it's been pretty tough.
Well...
But we'll survive it, and she'll get through it. But we'd like to, she's back here, she's got a wonderful breakfast going, and like to encourage everybody to come by and see her. She's got a good gravy biscuit. She's got ham, a good sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. So come on by and see her, and she'll fix you right up.
Well, she's a good employee to have because she's a hard worker. She stays to the, even in spite of the fact of being short-handed, she always does a great job.
That's right, she does, Jim. We really appreciate everything she does.
All right.
And I know in the store we got some good deals going on in our meat market, and you know, just come on by and see Gene back there, and if you want a special order, he'll fix you right up on that. And we had a truck come in yesterday. We got fresh produce, and our Christmas candy, believe it or not, is hitting the store, so come by if you want some of that, and we'll fix you right up.
Get it while it's fresh.
That's right.
All right, Audrey, I appreciate it, and thanks for being there for us, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Have a great day and a good weekend.
All right, same to you, Jim.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's a Drop-In Family Mart there in Bostic, right across the road from the post office, Bostic Sunshine Highway, where they do a great business, and they're busy, but be a little patient with them. If they can't get to your biscuit right Rickly, they got somebody ahead of you, but it'll be worth waiting for, I'll assure you. Biscuits from the Drop-In Family Mart there in Bostic is well worth the wait.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Well, let's see what kind of activity the fire department's had up in Tina White's jurisdiction. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim. So Shingle Hollow Fire Department and Green Hill Fire Departments were both all quiet the past 24 hours.
Good.
It is 46 degrees on my front porch this morning, and today is a really special day in the White family
Oh, yeah?
because my nephew, Leo White, birthday is today. He turns 9 years old today, and we're so excited for him. We just love to celebrate.
Well, happy birthday, Leo.
And then also Renee Howard and Jason Johnson have birthdays today, so happy birthday to them as well. It's a really special day. So Shingle Hollow Fire Department asked me to invite everyone to come out for trick-or-treating Saturday from 5 to 8 p.m. there at the fire department. And White House Community Clubhouse asked me to invite everyone to a craft night with snacks on Friday, November the 5th at 6:30 p.m. Everyone is invited. The White House community wants to get together more and would love for everyone to join in. So again, that is a craft and snack on Friday, November 5th at 6:30. They're inviting children too. And Pilgrim's Way Baptist Church is having their 5th Saturday morning youth meeting this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Brother Todd McKeon and Brother Jacob McKeon will be bringing the message. There'll be a combined youth choir and a meal afterwards. Everyone is welcome to that. And one of Nevaeh's little friends in her class at Trinity, 4th grade, wanted to send home a flyer and said, have your mama say this. So Spindale Fellowship Holiness Church, is having a fall festival, October 30th. Food is from 11 to 12, games from 12 to 2, and trunk or treat at 2 p.m. She said, tell every child to come to this fall festival.
All right.
And the Piney Knob Baptist Church is having a trunk or treat Saturday. So is Pleasant Grove, and of course the fire department. So that's who I've been told about. And Green Hill Store starts at 6:30. So it looks like there'll be lots of trick-or-treating activities going on.
I am so glad people are opening back up again and doing things for the community and the public and getting back involved. I'm so happy about that.
We're excited. Another thing that because I worked in long-term care for 4 years and know how important it is for socialization for elderly and people who are living in any kind of assisted living. But tonight, the local like Oak Grove and the old White Oak Manor in Rutherford are having their trick or treat, and they're inviting the children to come out. And I think it starts at 5. So they are inviting them to come out and just walk through. I think they do it outside, and they just trick or treating.
That's great. That is great.
The older folks love that. So
Yeah.
if you've got kids, grandkids, take them to the little rest homes this evening.
Tina, I appreciate that very much. You keep up the good work for us, and we'll check in with you again in the morning.
Have a very safe day, and God bless.
God bless.
Another season has come and gone, and you're still looking at that same sad-looking sofa or recliner. Well, now's the time to change the inside of your home to look as pretty as colors outside. And the perfect place to start is the Recliner Center. Right now at the Recliner Center, everything is 20% off. That's 20% off sofas, recliners, sofa recliners. If someone you love is having trouble standing, the Recliner Center has all lift chairs on sale for 10% off. All lift chairs, 10% off. Now, some of these chairs can take you from a standing position, then safely back down to a sitting position with no effort on your part whatsoever. Angela is cleaning out merchandise to make room for more. So now's your chance to redecorate your home and take advantage of the great savings at the Recliner Center. All lift chairs, 10% off. Everything else is 20% off. Angela is seeing folks by appointment only, so call 828-395-3562. Call her today. The Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherford.
Now let's see what's new and exciting up in the Union Mills metropolis. Brenda Kelly is reporting. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning. How are you on this tremendous Thursday morning?
I'm tremendous.
And I am what's happening. Oh, me. But we hope everybody's having a good morning. I just told Todd that sunrise was beautiful this morning. It had beautiful orange and pinks and blues.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty, yeah. I hate y'all can't see it in that blue room.
Yeah, we got to turn our building the other way so we can see that sunrise.
Need to put your little window there somewhere.
Yeah.
Because you miss out on a lot.
Maybe somebody will make some pictures and send them to me on Facebook.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah. But we hope everybody's having a good morning. I've got 42 degrees on the front porch and ways of announcements. Saturday the 30th, the Gilkey School Community Center will have a drive-through trick-or-treat from 4:30 to 6:30. And then on the same day, the 30th, they're going to have a coat closet. Will be open from 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon. This is for children and adults. And they have some blankets and other items to help keep you warm. And then we have a Fall Fest at the Mills, October the 30th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Union Mills. They'll have 60-plus vendors, food trucks, family fun. Come and support small businesses. Then on November the 5th, Winging It will be at the Union Mills Learning Center. The music starts at 7 p.m., and a meal is available beginning at 6 p.m., and the cost of the meal is $5. And other than that, I don't know of anything going on.
All right, well, you stay out of trouble up there until we talk again. I'll see you.
Okay, catch you later.
All right, bye, Brenda.
Bye-bye.
7:44, and we're moving around the county this morning pretty rapidly, and next stop will be Ellenboro, and we'll find out what's happening over there if we can get through to Luther this morning.
Cheryl, I've been talking to Tommy and David, the outside salesmen at Henson Building Materials in Forest City. They're going to help us navigate through our remodeling project.
Well, I know they have tons of experience, so we'll be in good hands.
Good hands is right. Even professional builders shop there because they trust the quality products and service.
And did you know they have a great relationship with our community, too? Oh, they're so nice.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Now, here we come, Ellenboro. Luther Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning. Here waiting on you.
All right, man.
Been looking forward to it since yesterday.
All right. I know you've got a lot of things to tell us this morning.
Not a whole lot to tell this morning. Not much going on there this morning. Well, let's see. The fire department had 3 medical calls, and they had 1 power telephone cable down yesterday. They're quiet. There's more than nothing going on with them. Everybody just trying to get their biscuit heading on out to work. But let's see, we're going to have something going on there here Saturday from 3 to 5 out at Bethel Church, Family Life Center. They're going to be having a drive-through candy giveaway for the kids there. And so everyone's invited to stop by and partake in it. That's from 3 to 5 this coming Saturday. And Jim, nothing else going on down here. Hope you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther.
All right, take care now.
Have a wonderful day.
All right.
Luther Gilligan reporting out of Ellenboro this morning. Got a little straggle there on the coffee ground, I guess. It's time for birthdays and anniversaries for this Thursday morning, 28th of October, October 28th. If you'll call that into us, we'll celebrate with you. Give you a big shout-out. 287-3356 is the phone number. 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries are coming right up. Well, of course, you know about the delectable Granny B's Daylight Donuts. Now you can experience the delicious Granny B's Pizza Combo. Yeah, Granny B's Pizza Combo. But you know what else now is a big thing over at Granny B's? It's their breakfast they're serving from 6:30 a.m., starting on Tuesday through Saturday, 6:30 a.m. with some of the best biscuits you could possibly want. Put ham, bacon, sausage, liver mush in one, or add an egg. Sausage gravy biscuits are only $2.25. They got hash browns, a breakfast plate, anything, anyway. Coffee. You can eat in over there. We got plenty of room to eat in, or you can call it in to go. That 286-9012. That's the Granny B's breakfast. Everything else has always been good, and I'm sure the breakfast will be too. The delicious Daylight Donuts, that pizza, and their deli lunches. Now breakfast. My, what a place. Granny B's. Enjoy breakfast right now. Stop by there. They can fix it up for you. And when you need your clothes looking good, freshened up, and tired of doing all that pressing and ironing yourself, take them by Folks Cleaners. They do a professional job for you. If you're If you're in business and really need to dress to impress, get your clothes cleaned there at Folks Cleaners. If you just like to wear clean, fresh clothes, then take your clothes by the laundry and dry clean. They'll do a good job for you. And they have limited hours now. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I believe they're open full day, and Tuesday and Thursday only half a day, and Saturday half a day. So it's still very convenient for you. Just drive up a window, just drop your clothes off in there. They'll come to the door and meet you with a big smile. You can drop them. You don't even have to get out of the car. That's real convenience. Family owned, family run, Folks Cleaners.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday going out to Avion Sprouse. I'm not sure I pronounced that first name right. Aviona maybe. Sprouse, 7 years old, lives in Rutherford. I want to wish Aviona a happy birthday. Also celebrating Jimmy Lee Hutchins, he's 48 over in Boston. And Lori Moore over in Sandy Mush having a birthday. We're being kind to Donna Hughes today. Donna having a birthday. She's a real estate agent. And we want to wish her a happy birthday. Other birthdays, notable birthdays. Charlie Daniels was born in the state 1936. He died back in 2020. Great guy. We admire Charlie Daniels. 1955, Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, was born. 1967, Julia Roberts, she's an actress, born on that date. 1972, Brad Paisley has a birthday today. And also, Jacqueline, is that right? Huh? What? Joaquin Phoenix played a great job with Johnny Cash. He's an actor, born in 1974. Some of the big events on this date. In 1726, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift was published. 1858. What is this? Something Maxim. R.H. Macy and Company opened its first store in New York City. Profits from that day was $11.06. 1886, Statue of Liberty dedicated. Also, first Ticker Tape Parade in New York City. 1941, How Green Was My Valley film premiered. Won Best Picture in 1942. In 1965, St. Louis Arch was completed. And now you're up to date on this date in history here on WCAB. Stand by. Keys to Confident Living coming up next.
I stood with some friends around the bedside of their dying father. As I watched these grown men tenderly care for this man who had been for them a tower of strength and support, I couldn't help but think how many people have been deeply touched by a caring and loving father. An unknown author penned the following words with which many of us identify. The poem goes like this: His shoulders are a little bent, his youthful force a trifle spent, but he's the finest man I know with heart of gold and hair of snow. He's seldom cross and never mean. He's always been so good and clean. I only hope I'll always be as kind to him as he's to me. Sometimes he's tired and seems forlorn. His happy face is lined and worn. Yet he can smile when things are bad. That's why I like my gray-haired dad. He doesn't ask the world for much, just comfort, friendliness, and such. But from the things I've heard him say, I know it's up to me to pay for all the deeds he's done for me since I sat rocking on his knee. Oh, not in dollars, dimes, or cents. That's not a father's recompense. Nor does he worship wealth and fame. He'd have me honor Jesus' name. If your dad has been a positive influence in your life, why not call or write him today and tell him again how much you love him and what he means to you? Your thoughtful words will mean more than any gift you could give him. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
From the bedroom to the boardroom, thousands are getting their day started.
WCAB News. I'm Sherry Preston. An announcement is expected today from President Biden on the economic agenda he has been pushing for months. The president still hoping to reach a deal with Democrats before leaving for Europe today. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott at the Capitol.
This could be a major breakthrough. After months of negotiations, just moments ago, sources tell me the president plans to announce a framework on a deal for his economic agenda that he believes all Democrats can get behind. The president is expected to go to Capitol Hill today to rally support for this plan, but it will be much less than what he wanted and what he promised on the campaign trail.
Moderate and progressive Democrats are still waiting to see the language. Also on Capitol Hill today, executives from big oil companies, they are expected to talk about the role their products have played in climate change and the environment. Mask anger leads to another assault on board an airplane.
American Flight 96 en route to Southern California from New York diverted to Denver after the altercation. Mackenzie Rose, another passenger on board, says the man punched a flight attendant and broke her nose after he was asked to wear a mask.
In terms of men hitting women, it's absolutely absurd and ridiculous. Fists and violence is never the way.
In a statement, American Airlines says it's outraged by what happened on board, will work with law enforcement and pursue prosecution. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Investigators still insist all options are on the table in the fatal Santa Fe movie set shooting. ABC's Kaylee Hartung in New Mexico.
Anyone in the movie industry will tell you it is unfathomable that live ammunition could make its way onto a film set. And the sheriff is saying it's likely that there was more than one bullet on this movie set. Of the about 500 rounds of ammunition they say they've recovered from the Bonanza Creek Ranch here in Santa Fe, they think there are more live rounds among them.
A tornado in Lake Charles, Louisiana, damaging up to 40 homes. That community still struggling to recover from repeated disasters. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Dealing with car repairs can feel like a lose-lose situation. You lose your money and your time. And if you don't have the right coverage, just one repair could bleed you dry. If you call CarShield, you won't be worried about expensive repairs anymore. CarShield administrators handle the paperwork and expensive payments, so you don't have to. It's a win-win. Seriously, CarShield could save you thousands. You get to pick your favorite mechanic to do the work, and CarShield administrators take care of the rest. It's like they're your own personal team of auto repair problem solvers. Plans from CarShield even provide roadside assistance, rental coverage, and trip reimbursement, all at no additional charge. Whether your car has 5,000 miles or 150,000 miles, CarShield has monthly coverage options to fit your budget. Get coverage today and see why CarShield cars go farther. Visit carshield.com/Jill to save 10%. That's carshield.com/Jill. A deductible may apply.
A lot of parents across the country still leery about getting COVID shots for their young children. A Kaiser Family Foundation poll out this morning says just over a quarter of parents, 5 to 11 years of parents of 5 to 11-year-olds say they will get the shot for their kids right away. Pfizer's version of the COVID vaccine for young children has been given the green light by an FDA advisory panel. McDonald's now says it has to raise prices to cover the rising cost of paying workers. Menu prices said to be about 6% higher compared to last year, with the fast food chain paying more to try and hang on to its workers. ABC's Daria Albinger says another big chain is also offering more money.
Starbucks is increasing pay for all U.S. workers to at least $15 an hour and up to $23 an hour, depending on years of service, early next year. It's the third time in less than 2 years the company's increased pay, and it comes on the heels of some well-publicized attempts by Starbucks workers to form unions. A group calling itself Starbucks Workers United has filed petitions with the National Labor Relations Board asking permission for union votes. Starbucks says it respects workers' right to organize, but doesn't think a union is necessary. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Cleveland's baseball team will have to go through court if it wants to change its name from the Indians to the Guardians. It turns out a Cleveland roller derby team has been the Guardians since 2013 and is now suing to stop the baseball team from making the switch to that name. This is ABC News.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Hello and happy Thursday. Rain showers are on the way, and we'll see scattered showers arriving later on this afternoon. Highs today are in the mid to upper 60s. Some heavy rain is possible through the afternoon and evening commute. Those rain showers will continue off and on overnight tonight. A few thunderstorms are possible as well. Some lingering rain showers still in the forecast for your Friday morning commute, and a few showers still in the forecast as well Friday afternoon, drier through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Mallock in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Zach. We are 46 degrees currently. It's still cloudy on our end of the county this morning, but it should be maybe get a little sun before the rain starts. Right? A chance of thunderstorms this afternoon and tonight and again tomorrow, with rain, likely no thunderstorms tomorrow. And then it all goes away maybe by Saturday noonish. And Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, just mostly sunny skies. Our temperatures during the daytime around the mid-60s, at nighttime low 40s. So it's going to be pretty much what we are right now in terms of temperature. We're being kind today to Donna Hughes. Donna is having a birthday, so we're being kind to her today. We want to wish her a happy birthday. And I'm giving away a couple of tickets to the Southern Christmas Show again this morning, this hour, in the next few minutes. So be sure to hang around. Another crazy question with a crazy answer. But you've been really good about getting those answers in, and they'll have another today and give away a pair of tickets this morning. It'll come up here in just a few moments. And I want to thank all of those of you who have already purchased your raffle tickets for the Chamber of Commerce raffle tickets. We can win $8,000, $1,500, or $500. Your raffle ticket is available right here, and we'll be glad to sell you the one that could be the lucky winner. Thank you for those who have already bought yours from me. I appreciate that. Now, if you'd like to buy tickets, come on by. We got them. $50 for one ticket, 2 tickets for $100. And the drawing is going to be held right here live on the radio December, let me see what date that is. December the 17th. We'll do that about 8:10, and we'll do it, and we'll live stream that too, doing the drawing so everybody in the world can see who is the winner of that money. This reminder from the good folks over at Forest Hunt Elementary School. They're inviting all veterans to drive-through celebration at Forest Hunt Elementary on November the 12th from 12:30 till 1:30. The students would like to thank the veterans for their service with a small gift. So veterans, keep that in mind and drive through Forest Hunt Elementary. That drive around there, and they'll recognize all veterans. It's a good thing they're doing. I appreciate that very much. All right, I've got news from here and there right after this.
It's our 30th anniversary, but you get the gifts. That's right, Carolina West Wireless is celebrating our anniversary and celebrating you in a big way with incredible savings, like $350 off a new iPhone 12 or a $150 credit when you bring in your own device. And as our special gift to you, get an additional $30 off any other device promo in our store. Stop by today and let's celebrate our 30th anniversary together. Carolina West Wireless, celebrating 30, celebrating you. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
All right, some of the stories from here and there. We found out from the Tron Daily Bulletin that a Polk County deputy was fired and charged this week after a discrepancy regarding a timesheet. The Polk County Sheriff's Office released a statement Thursday afternoon last week saying that the deputy, formerly assigned to the School Resources Division, was terminated and charged. James Cox was charged with 1 count of obtaining property by false pretenses, according to the Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office says it immediately contacted the District Attorney's Office and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation after it became aware of the discrepancy regarding the timesheets of Patrol Deputy Cox on Monday. The Sheriff's Office said Thursday that no further information regarding the personnel matter can be released at this time per the North Carolina statute. That's from the Tron Daily Bulletin last week over in Polk County. Well, good news, though. Those who enjoy the Farm Museum down in Forest City, some of you have been and appreciate what we've got there. Yvonne Maupin wants the citizens of the county to know what life was like living on a farm in the rural South. There's much to be learned, she says, by visiting the Rutherford County Farm Museum located on 142 Park Square Extension, Forest City. She's the new director, and she'll be taking reins at the Farm Museum. Maupin has served as director of the museum since early summer. The museum was first established 28 years ago by the late Wilbur Bergen. His brother Max Bergen heads the museum board and asked Maupin if she'd be interested in running the museum. Maupin said he took us to the museum and showed us around. My husband and I were amazed, and then he asked if I'd be interested. Yvonne knew it would be hard work, but it is work that she is enjoying. She grew up on a farm in Okeechobee, Florida. She and her husband, Rodney, and 2 adult sons moved to Rutherford County about 4 years ago. Rodney Maupin works as a construction foreman on major road building projects. Yvonne once worked as a nurse. She said, I've never done anything like this, but I love it. It's important that people remember the past and remember how things once were. Much of her time at the museum has been spent organizing and making a visit to the museum a more pleasant experience. She doesn't want a cluttered appearance or a musty odor, so she has worked to eliminate both and inviting folks to come by. It is a sight to see. I'm sure glad they're keeping that museum open. I was so afraid that after Wilbur passed that it would just be left there to do nothing. But they are keeping it open. I'm thankful for that. There's a large textile-themed room. In addition to early model equipment one would find in a textile factory, there's a full bale of cotton weighing 500 pounds. The sign at the cotton bale stated that it was packaged and ready for delivery to a cotton gin. The bale dates back to the early 1900s. Brightly colored murals painted by the late Clive Haynes are also featured in the textile room. There's so much to see. And other surprises are a Studebaker horse wagon made before the company produced automobiles, and an old Fordson branded tractor manufactured by Ford in 1920s. Local leaders are pleased to see new energy at the museum, and so am I. Amy Bridges, Forest City Downtown and Community Development Manager, said we're excited to see the Rutherford County Farm Museum is open again. The museum is a huge asset to the town and to the county. I encourage everyone to stop in and visit. As with many nonprofit entities, funding remains an issue for the County Farm Museum. To help raise money, tickets are now being sold for a gun raffle. A drawing will be held December 18th for a Ruger 1022 rifle. Tickets may be purchased at the museum. If you have never been to that farm museum, it is well worth your time to go, and take the kiddos with you, grandkids and even older kids and teenagers, and take them by and let's see what things were like many moons ago. I think it's impressive. But every school class ought to make that a field trip. It's so interesting. Meanwhile, state leaders are saying this. I'm glad they're finally saying this, but state leaders declare North Carolina is trending in the right direction in terms of COVID-19, with even more good news developing. On Wednesday, Governor Cooper and North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Mandy Cohen provided an update on the state's COVID-19 key metrics and trends. We're grateful to see the latest surge in COVID-19 taper off, Cooper said, and as we try to drive down our numbers, we know what works. Vaccines. The more people who get their shots, the less COVID we'll have. COVID-19 vaccine booster shots are now available for most North Carolinians. So it's good to hear that kind of news, that the trend is going down. So that is great. Maybe we can get all this behind us. Well, the left wants us all to believe walls are racist and only divide us. We had a big wall going up down on the border there south of us, blocking all that illegal entry. And when the President Biden went in, that's one of the first things he stopped the building of the wall. But interesting thought how some walls are good, some walls are bad. The left wants us to believe all walls are racist and only divide us. That is, as long as those walls are keeping migrants from cutting in line and entering the country illegally. If a wall is used to protect the elites, it magically loses its racism. It's racism if we want to block illegals from coming in, but if we want to build a wall to protect the elites, then that's perfectly fine. President Biden himself is putting the exact sort of hypocrisy on full display. The New York Post reported on Friday that the Department of Homeland Security is spending a whopping $455,000 to build a security fence around the president's summer White House in Delaware. Americans are struggling with inflation caused by Biden's rapid spending. Supply chain issues and rising prices are putting a dent in their wallets. Now taxpayers will have to fork out $455,000 for this fence around the president's summer White House. At least the president will be kept safe from any illegal intruders. Americans living near the southern border aren't quite as fortunate. Nowhere is this more evident than in Kinney County, Texas. The area is a prime destination for illegal crossings. Locals have been faced with a relentless stream of illegal aliens traversing their property, cutting fences, breaking into the homes, and threatening them, according to the Epoch Times. Despite this stunning reality, Biden remains steadfast in his refusal to crack down on illegal immigration. In fact, the federal government's inaction has been so disastrous that volunteers have been called on to fill in the gap. Sam Hall, founder and president of a militia group called Patriots for America, announced on Tuesday that he will be sending roughly 100 men to Kenny, Texas, to operate as a deterrent in areas of high traffic. Kenny County Sheriff Brad Pooh is also putting together a team of volunteers to tackle Biden's border crisis. As far as taking it into their own hands, we didn't have much of a choice, he said. The Border Patrol was completely overwhelmed at the time. Thousands of people coming, just turning themselves in. They wanted to get caught, created this problem, all because Biden and his friends on the left think walls are racist. Just not the $455,000 one protecting his summer home. It's okay. Don't do as I do as I say do, folks. That's the philosophy of the left in so many cases. 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, we'll get back here with some tickets to give away to the Southern Christmas Show in just a few.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid-19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
It's that time again, time to get the flu vaccines. And Smith Drugs in Forest City has the flu vaccinations available. Walk-ins Monday through Friday and Saturdays by appointment. And Smith Drug is asking all their Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers to call if you need any help with registering your recall devices. Just call the Home Medical Department for any help or with questions at 828-245-4591.
Make your plans to attend an old-fashioned tent revival starting October 31st at 6 o'clock. This tent revival will be under the direction of Pastor Paul Lane and Dr. Keith Barnett. Sunday, October 31st at 6 p.m. and Monday, November the 1st through Friday, November the 5th at 7 p.m. Good singing and preaching each night under the big tent at Restoration Church, 133 Garden Brook Drive, Forest City. Tent revival sponsors include Gilkit Lumber Company, Green Hill Store, Great Finds Consignment, Hawkins Tire Company, and Fat Traces. Bring your church group and your neighbors and friends to the tent revival at Restoration Church starting Sunday, October 31st, going through Friday, November 5th. 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, it's Thursday morning here in the Blue Room, and the morning show is continuing to go crazy. Somebody said, Jim, I believe you've lost your marbles asking those crazy questions in order to win tickets to the Southern Christmas Show. Well, we've had some winners based on those. Here's how the silly game is played. I have another silly question, but it's you think about it, work it in, you might be able to come up with the answer. First question we ask, Person of the Week, what do Alexander the Great and Winnie the Pooh have in common? The answer, of course, was the same middle name. Next question was, what happens to frogs when their car breaks down? It gets towed away. Then the third question yesterday, what is the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One is really heavy and the other is a little lighter. Now, that's the crazy questions, all right? So we got another one here. You have to think about this one. And if you know the answer, be the first to call at 287-3356 with the correct answer, and you got yourself a pair of tickets to the Southern Christmas Show, which is November the 11th through the 21st. Now, here's the question. Now, think about this one. If you have 10 apples in one hand and 14 oranges in the other, what do you have? If you have 10 apples in one hand, 14 oranges in the other, what do you have? If you know the answer to that question, call now. Be the first with the correct answer. 287-3356. You got yourself a pair of tickets to the Southern Christmas Show. This year is special because they didn't get to have it last year. They called it off, but this year they're having it. And the phone's ringing out there. We'll see who's going to have the correct answer. If you have 10 apples in one hand, 14 oranges in the other, what do you have? And the answer is going to get you when you hear the answer. If you can't think of it, you go, "Oh no, what's what I was thinking." Well, don't think about common sense answers. Think about answers that probably will fool you. Okay, I believe Todd's coming back here with a winner. I believe he's got somebody already win. Already got a winner, Todd? Yep. Already got a winner, and it's Brian Green. Brian Green has won the tickets. Got the correct answer. The question was, if you have 10 apples in one hand and 14 oranges in the other, what do you have? Really big hands. That's the answer, and Brian Green apparently knows how this game is played, so he was able to get that answer correct. Really big hands is the answer. If you've got 10 apples in one hand, 14 oranges in the other, what do you have? Really big hands. So congratulations, Brian Green. We'll have those tickets here for you. And those of you who have won, be sure to pick your tickets up. If you decide you can go, let us know plenty of time so we can re-give those tickets to somebody else. And we'll have more along the way. We'll have some more tickets to give away before the show actually starts November the 11th. So be sure to hang around with us during that time and win. And who knows, we may play some more silly games. Some of them may be serious games, and some of them may be whatever color. Just whatever strikes our fancy here on the morning wake-up call, we'll do it. Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Francis coming up here in just a few moments. Of course, Halloween coming up this weekend. A lot of folks enjoy candy, give away candy. Candy corn lovers, beware. Candy manufacturer Ferrero Candy was hit with a ransomware attack earlier this month. The company is responsible for 85% of all candy corn production in the U.S. Gizmodo first reported the ransomware attack to have occurred on October the 9th. Ferraro told the online tech publication that the attack encrypted some of our systems and they were working with law enforcement. Upon discovery, we immediately responded to secure all systems and commence an investigation into the nature and scope of this incident. Ferraro is cooperating with law enforcement, and our technical team is working closely with third-party specialists to fully restore impacted systems as expeditiously as possible. The Chicago-based confectionery manufacturer is currently operating at limited capacity, but is hoping to fill all orders in time. The largest candy corn producer has been hit with a ransomware attack just before Halloween, so they're working on it. Hopefully they'll get it all squared away. Now here is Sheriff Chris Francis with our report we aired earlier, recorded it for broadcast at this time. Sheriff?
Last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 170 calls for service. There have been 8 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 180. Among those arrested by the Sheriff's Office, Camilla Janine Miller, 36-year-old female of Spindale, was charged with communicating threats, assault, and child abuse. City District Court judged for bond. James Donald Dover, 44-year-old male of Forest City, was charged on a true bill, also for habitual felon and also a trespass, received a written promise to appear. Tyronica Lee Davenport, 46-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with communicating threats and simple assault and received a written promise to appear. Melissa Joetta Katz, 44-year-old female of Old Fort, was charged with 5 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,500 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had a large-scale U.S. 74 business boss at the Dollar General. There were some reading glasses that were taken. Appears to be a shoplifting case, and the person was able to get out of the store. Those glasses were valued at $6. Had a larceny Race Bath Church Road. It was a G2 9mm handgun valued at $417. The victim had someone house sitting, and when he returned, that firearm was missing. Had a damage to property on Booger Holler Road in Ellenborough. There was a bullet hole in a building located on that property. Jim, that's what we had to report at this time.
Holding hands, sipping cherry cokes, and enjoying the music of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. 100.9 FM, 590 AM. This is WCAB.
Be back in just a few with more news from here and there. Don't forget My Great America with Jim and Butch at 9:05 this morning. Sports update coming up.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach.
Jammed. It'll score a run and is safe all around. 2-1 Houston here in the second.
Joe Buck with the call on Fox Sports as the Houston Astros broke open for 4 runs in the second inning and bounced back from Tuesday's Game 1 loss by defeating the Braves 7-2 last night in Game 2 to even the World Series at 1 game each.
Game 2 was almost the total opposite of Game 1. In the series opener, Atlanta jumped out to a 5-0 lead after 3 innings. The Astros couldn't come back. In Game 2, it was the Astros jumping out to a 5-1 lead after 2 innings. The Braves couldn't come back. So the series is now tied at 1 game apiece. After a day off, the series resumes Friday in Atlanta.
Miles Bridges scored 31 points. Gordon Hayward added 24, and the Hornets beat the Magic 120-111 last night in Orlando for their 4th win to start the first 5 games of this season. Bridges hit a 3-pointer with 1:02 left to put the game away for Charlotte. Their only loss of the season came in overtime against Boston. Cole Anthony led Orlando with 24 points and 6 assists. Wendell Carter Jr. added 20 points and 10 rebounds for the Magic. Orlando committed 8 turnovers in the 4th quarter after leading for most of the game. So thanks a lot. The Carolina Hurricanes hosting the Boston Bruins tonight in their first meeting of the season between the two. The Bruins 3-2 on the young year, while the Canes are a perfect 5-0. Head coach Rod Brindamore talked after yesterday's practice about tonight's matchup and what they plan to do to slow down the Bruins' top line. Can they slow it down?
I wish. They're a great group, and they have been for a long time. And it's not just the talent that they have. I mean, they work at it. They do it right, but it's that commitment to how hard they do it, and that's why they've had success for a long time.
Puck drop at 7 o'clock tonight at PNC Arena. This is NCN Sports.
The word is out about the first-class amenities of the Beaufort Hotel. Beaufort resident and owner Bucky Oliver is here to let you in on the secret.
It kind of comes down to who you are and what you do. People come out and they just absolutely tell us, those are the nicest rooms I've ever seen. And lace and chandelier in a bathroom, little things like that. And I really got a good night's sleep last night. That's the test.
Find out more about this gem of the Crystal Coast at BeaufortHotelNC.com.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops in 2020 and 2021. Our philosophy is simple. Be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Las Vegas Raiders owner Mark Davis says he doesn't believe the team was targeted in the leaking of emails that led to the resignation of coach John Gruden. Davis said he would like the league to release a written report of the investigation. Davis also acknowledged the team has reached a settlement with Gruden but did not reveal details. Florida coach Joel Quenneville is slated to meet with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman today, 2 days after a report detailed how senior leaders of the Chicago Blackhawks badly mishandled allegations that an assistant coach sexually assaulted Kyle Beach during the team's Stanley Cup run in 2010. Quenneville was head coach of the Hawks that season and led the franchise to 3 titles over 5 years. Winnipeg GM and former Blackhawks employee Kevin Cheveldaev is planning to talk to the commissioner as well. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Hello and happy Thursday. Rain showers are on the way, and we'll see scattered showers arriving later on this afternoon. Highs today are in the mid to upper 60s. Some heavy rain is possible through the afternoon and evening commute. Those rain showers will continue off and on overnight tonight. A few thunderstorms are possible as well. Some lingering rain showers still in the forecast for your Friday morning commute, and a few showers still in the forecast as well Friday afternoon, drier through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Mallock in the Weather Center.
Cloudy and 46 degrees here in beautiful downtown Whiteside Road as we look from our perch here in the Blue Room out across the fruited plain there. Cloudy and 46 degrees, but after a couple of days of rain, we're going to have beautiful weather coming back in for the weekend. Beautiful sunny skies in this fall of the year, and this rain and wind will maybe pull off a lot more of the leaves and into your backyard and your front yard and your side yard, and it'll give you something to do the next week, right? Rake and blow leaves. Let's look at some other stories of interest. There was a little bit of sweet revenge in the Braves winning, going into the World Series. Atlanta is still seething that Major League Baseball stripped the All-Star game away from their beloved city last summer. Well, politics or not, there's absolutely nothing Major League Baseball can do to stop Atlanta now. Atlanta will host the World Series for the first time since 1999. The Braves knocked off the defending champions Los Angeles Dodgers 4-2, winning the National League pennant Saturday night. So they now are into 2 games. They won 1 game, they lost last night. It was kind of a sweet revenge, Southern style, with a sellout crowd of 43,060 at Truist Park. Atlanta won the National League Championship Series 4-2 and will face the Houston Astros in the World Series that has already begun. Whoever wins the World Series, it promises to be quite the World Series trophy presentation. If it's Atlanta, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred is going to be booed from Cobb County to Savannah for moving the All-Star game to Denver in protest of Georgia's voting laws. And if it's Houston, Manfred will be booed from Minute Maid Park to the Alamo for exposing the Astros cheating scandal, which led to the firing of GM Jeff Lunau and manager A.J. Hinch and national embarrassment. Well, who would ever thought that the Braves, 6 games back in June, not over 500 until August 6th, and with the starting outfield that wasn't even in the organization of the last 2 weeks of July. Now, after watching everyone in the National League East reach the World Series since their last visit, they are kings of the National League now. This was hardly a fluke. It was simply the Braves getting hot at the right time. They lost their best player, Ronald Acuna, the best pitcher, Mike Soroka, the best slugger, Marcell Ozuna, during the season, made 6 mid-season trades to stay alive since have been gone a surreal tier going 43-22 since August 1st. Well, Braves are doing quite well for themselves. They'll move. I believe they move down to Truist Park and be playing, and they'll, if they win this series. Of course, the Liberals don't like Texas, anything having to do with Texas, because of their conservative stand there. And they got a Republican governor. The Liberals don't like Texas, and they don't like Atlanta because they wanted fair voting rights. So they're gonna have to grin and bear it, because Atlanta's in the series, folks. Well, if you haven't already heard, that series is going to be between the Houston Astros and the Atlanta Braves. You may recall that earlier, as we mentioned already, the All-Star game was moved out of Atlanta and occurred in Colorado instead in an effort to protest Georgia's election integrity bill that helped make elections more secure in Georgia. Georgia was trying to have fair elections, and so Major League Baseball didn't like that idea, so they decided to move the All-Star game out of there. Well, liberals don't like that, so they threw a fit and pulled the game from Georgia, a state with a lot of black-owned businesses, and moved it to a predominantly white area instead, all in the name of anti-racism. President Biden went so far as to call the bill Jim Crow on steroids. The bill is not racist in any way, shape, or form. It's all just liberal propaganda. So they are not too pleased with how that's turning out. But now the Braves are in the series, and there are going to be games held in Atlanta. These games are even bigger than the All-Star game, and there are more of them. I can't imagine just how horrified the snowflakes on the left must feel about this. But wait, there's more. Also, remember that the other team is the Houston Astros, as in Houston, Texas. There are many other states that the liberals hate more than Texas. The Daily Wire put it perfectly when they wrote, "Life has a funny way of coming back around. The left injected themselves where they didn't belong, in sports, by putting pressure on companies to punish the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia because they didn't like a bill put forth by the Republican governor. And now, 6 months later, all eyes will be on the states of Texas and Georgia as Major League Baseball crowns their 2021 World Series champion. If you listen closely, you can hear the left screaming in anguish because somebody is probably offended by all of that. Speaking of being offended, when conservatives protest over ideas like equity and critical race theory, the average American who is uninterested in politics is left wondering what all of this fuss is all about. Folks who don't stay up with what's all this about? Well, to them, broad academic concepts like these couldn't possibly affect their day-to-day lives. Well, a federal jury in Charlotte seemed to disagree with that notion on Tuesday when it awarded one man $10 million due to discrimination via his former employer's equity policy. Michigan native David Duvall worked as a senior vice president of marketing and communication for Novit Health Incorporated. It's a healthcare system with facilities in North Carolina up until July of 2018. In a 2019 lawsuit against the company, Duvall alleged he was fired without warning and replaced by a white woman and a black woman as the company worked to institute diversity, inclusion, and equity policies. Duvall accused Novit Health of racial and gender discrimination, which is a violation of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Novit Health contested Duvall's claims, instead saying he was fired for his poor leadership skills. In addition to finding Duvall proved he was wrongfully terminated based on his race and gender, the jury also said Novit Health failed to prove it would have fired Duvall if race was not a factor. Both Duvall and his lawyer were more than happy with the North Carolina jury's determination. Duvall's attorney, S. Luke Largess, said in a statement released Tuesday, according to the Winston-Salem Journal, said, quote, "We are pleased that the jury agreed that Duvall's race and gender were unlawful factors in his determination, that he was fired to make room for more diverse leaders at Novit." Largess also noted that Duvall was a strong advocate of diversity at Novit and that the two believe this lawsuit is a message that an employer cannot terminate and replace employees in order to achieve greater diversity in the workforce. So the federal jury awarded this former Novit Health executive $10 million in damage after he claims he was fired because he's a white man. The Novit Health spokesperson said, "We are extremely disappointed with the verdict as we believe it is not supported by the evidence presented at trial, which includes our reason for Mr. Duvall's termination. We will pursue all legal options, including appeal, over the next several weeks and months." The jury, however, remained unconvinced and chose to award Duvall a whopping $10 million. Despite this ruling, Novit Health has stubbornly doubled down on its racist practices, noting that racial equity will remain a central component of its hiring processes going forward. Novit Health is one of thousands of organizations to put in place robust diversity and inclusion programs, which we believe can coexist alongside strong non-discriminatory policies that extend to all races and genders, including white men. So they had to bite themselves a little bit after that award. I think more people start doing that kind of stuff. We might have fewer things happening with crazy laws out there. And speaking of universities, we were in colleges and taking place, the ones that you have a lot of respect for over the years, such as the University of Pittsburgh, Penn State. Members of the Pitt dance team have got something to look forward to. The University of Pittsburgh says that words like freshman, upperclassmen, ladies and gentlemen, ombudsman, and mankind are sexist language to be avoided when writing and speaking. No more free speech. On a page called Gender Inclusive, Non-Sexist Language Guidelines and Resources on the school's website, it says misgendering someone is disrespectful and dismissive. It asks, have you ever been called by name or gender that you don't identify with? Well, one way to misgender is to assume you know someone's gender via their appearance and to call them a name or pronoun that they don't identify with. Misgendering can also occur when you teach as if your entire class is male. The best practice is to use words daily with intention and care, the website states. Well, to avoid unintentional creating a sexist and homophobic classroom environment during discussion, do not limit yourself to male examples or heterosexual examples. Teachers can and should honor the breadth of experience and potential in students' lives by discussing women, gender nonconforming, and LGBT-identified people. For example, avoid giving examples that assume that all doctors are men. It states, the school suggests that instead of saying freshman, students and teachers use the words first-year student. Instead of lower class and upperclassmen, they should say lower division, upper division undergraduates. Now, has it ever offended you folks to be called a freshman when you were in college? Those of you who are, did it ever offend you to be called a freshman? Why is it all of a sudden offensive to be called a freshman? What's happened to our pansy people out there that get offended by everything? Instead of ladies and gentlemen, they should use the words colleagues, guests, all, yens, friends, people, students, and folks. So here we go to address the audience, and we say, instead of ladies and gentlemen, we're glad you're here, we say, folks, we're glad, well, which is fine, but it shouldn't be illegal to say ladies and gentlemen. Or if you want to say, good morning, guests, good morning, colleagues, good morning, all, good morning, friends, fine, say that, but don't make it against the law or the regulations of a university if you stand up and say, ladies and gentlemen, it is good to see you here today. Ombuds and omnibus persons should replace can't say this, ombudsman. Instead of the word mankind, they should say humankind. Similarly, instead of secretary clerk, they should say administrator, and instead of chairman, use the words chair or chairperson. Rather than beginning class by calling roll and potentially addressing a student by name or pronoun that they do not use, here are some strategies for being inclusive on the first day. This sounds like kindergarten stuff, folks. This is university. Here are some strategies for being inclusive. First, ask students to introduce themselves, or ask students to write down names and pronouns. The school advances on its website. It explains how to use names and pronouns and offers strategies. It also warns that a person's gender identity may change over time and advises teachers to be open to changes in gender pronouns. Here are a few strategies to keep in mind when meeting regularly with a group of people for a class or an event. If you're not sure what name or pronoun someone uses, ask. Respect a person's identity by calling them by the name and pronouns that they use. Keep in mind that a person's gender identity may change over time. Be open to changes in gender pronouns, the website states. The page also advises how to use gender-inclusive pronouns for third-person singular. For example, they, them, their, theirs, and themselves or themself. Similarly, sie, sei, them, zer, self. See how ridiculous that all it gets? And this is from supposedly educated people, Penn State University. And taxpayers are paying a whole lot of money to pay those folks sitting in administration to make those kind of decisions. When will we ever learn? When will we ever learn? It's 8:43. I'll be back.
You say hello every time you pick up your phone, but what else do you say hello to? With Bark Mobile, you can say hello to summer, to adventure, to doing what you love, because you're also saying hello to freedom, flexibility, and great deals. Like getting a free Moto G stylus when you switch for a limited time, $100 savings when you bring the device you already love, or 2 lines unlimited data for just $35 a month per line with AutoPay. Say hello to something new. It's just a phone call away with Bark Mobile. Bark Mobile, mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details. Visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
It's time to dust off your running shoes and hiking boots because South of the Mountain Trail Run is coming up on October 30th at South Mountain Christian Camp. Featuring rolling hills, wooded trails, and the grassy shoreline along our lake, the 3-mile South of the Mountain Trail Run offers a wide variety of challenges for runners and walkers of all skill levels in one of the most beautiful settings around. Awards will be presented to the top finishers in each age category. The runner's pack will include free race shirt and a drawstring backpack if you sign up by October 17th. There will also be a free fun run for the kids and supervised activities for them during the race. South of the Mountain Trail Run is sponsored in part by AE Global Media. Don't miss out on Saturday, October 30th at South Mountain Christian Camp. Visit southmountain.run for more information or call 245-3322. That's southmountain.run or call 245-3322.
For a delicious meal every day, call on Gregory's Original. Choose from their top menu of burgers, subs, grinders, pasta dishes, fresh salads, and so much more. All dishes are prepared fresh daily. Hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., Saturday, noon until 9 p.m. Now at Gregory's, try the family-style meals. The dining room is now open, but curbside and takeout is still available. Enjoy lunch or dinner today with your favorite meal from Gregory's. Call 287-2171, located in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherford. Gregory's Original.
Thank you very much, Todd. 8:45 on this Thursday morning. Tomorrow, of course, thank goodness, it's finally Friday Friends Day, and we have high school football Friday night coming up. And our game of the week is going to be Central at Chase, and also Braves playing the Astros tomorrow evening, and we'll join that game following the football game. So that's how that is played. Local sports, high school football takes priority over the national stuff. I know that some folks rather hear the Braves, but we'll get to the Braves, and they'll still be playing by the time the game's over with. Well, some other news from here. The Tryon Daily Bulletin is reporting that Polk County Schools remains one of the top public school districts in North Carolina, according to a national website. For the second straight year, Niche.com has listed Polk County Schools as the second best school district in the state. Niche uses a proprietary rating system to rank all districts and schools across the United States. Polk County School Superintendent Aaron Green said, "We're always pleased to receive notification that Polk County Schools has earned high ratings from an independent reviewer such as Niche. The success we achieve results from the tremendous effort of our staff, hard work by our students, and supporting involvement from our families and community." He goes on to say, Polk County is a special place. We have a community that values education and provides both fiscal and material resources to us so that we can do our best for our students. Other Western North Carolina school districts that are ranked by Niche includes Yancey County, Henderson County, Macon County, Rutherford County, and Transylvania counties. So these rankings are related recognition are about Polk County as a collective, not just our school district, and should be shared by the entire community. So congratulations to Polk County for having high numbers, and congratulations to Rutherford County for being up there in the top as well. Well, don't you just wish we had a governor with backbone and conservative values like the one in Texas? Women and girls sports will be reserved for women and girls under a new law, Texas law denounced by the Biden White House as hateful. On Monday, Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed into law House Bill 25, which says an athlete's biological sex, as determined by his or her birth certificate, is the sole criteria for eligibility. Biden's White House says that's hateful. Women secured the right to vote 100 years ago. We secured the right to equal opportunity in high school and collegiate sports in 1972. Now biological males are threatening those gains by entering girls' sports and robbing them of both championship trophies and scholarship opportunities, according to Republican Representative Valerie Swanson, who sponsored the bill. She made a statement on her website, "My colleagues and I are fighting back for women and girls." The new law takes effect January the 18th, according to the Texas Tribune. Matt Hill, the White House's senior associate communications director, attacked the law, and others like it on Twitter posts on October 19th. They want to just blur the sexes, blur it so there's no difference in guys who are much more muscular in many cases competing on a girls' team. It's just so unfair. Matt Hill, the White House Senior Associate Communication Director, said, "Our message to young transgender people in Texas and across the country, these hateful bills are bullying disguised as legislation, and the President of the United States and our administration will always keep fighting for the full equality LGBTQ plus folks deserve," he said. Swanson said the bill upholds the principles of Title IX, a federal law that prohibits discrimination in education on the basis of sex. It's so very, very important that we protect everything that women have gained in the last 50 years, she said. Although critics said there had been no cases reported in Texas in which men or boys who identify as female were taking opportunities away from women and girls, Swanson says there is no need to allow female athletes to suffer as has happened in other states. And already we've had reports this week of a boy going into a girl's locker room dressed with had a skirt on who felt like a girl today when he ended up raping the girl. But they say that don't happen. They're only blinded to what they don't want to see. She goes on to say our constituents expect us to see problems that are coming and not wait till there's a disaster, till everything falls apart and then try to fix it. We don't have to wait till a big problem in Texas. Critics have said the transgendered youths cannot cope with the concept that they cannot compete as women even though they are men. Because the Texas legislature has been presuming these bills, 150% increase in suicide has occurred in the LGBTQ community, predominantly of transgendered kids, because their government does not care about them, Democratic State Representative Julie Johnson said. We don't care about them, so we're going to forbid them to go into a women's locker room because they're guys. Does that make any sense to any of you? Rebecca Bryant, the parent of an 8-year-old boy who she identified as her daughter, Sunday, said the bill filled her with remorse. I'm feeling very defeated and very deflated right now, and I was sad to tell Sunday because we've always fielded her from the badness of all this as much as possible. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick of Texas, however, said the bill was about fairness. We're not trying to be against anyone or their lifestyle. That's their decision. But we also can't take away the rights of girls and women and allowing boys to play girls' sports is just unfair, Lieutenant Governor said. Boys can run faster, hit the ball longer if they're playing softball, hit three-point shots, and rebound better. They can beat girls in track and field, as I've said. They can run faster. They can beat them in wrestling. That's always happened in Texas because they're strong, and it's just not fair. Female athletes denied scholarships could have their lives impacted. Yeah, because a guy won the trophy competing with girls. It's hard for me to comprehend why a guy would even want to play on a girls' team. I don't understand why. Where's his masculinity that, oh, man, I don't want to play on the girls' team. I want to do my best over here. I don't see. I have a hard time comprehending where the masculinity in guys, where it's going. Where all of a sudden, well, I'm a big muscular guy, so I'm gonna go play softball with the girls. Or I want to play basketball with the girls. Or I want to be on the girls' dancing team. See, I just have a hard time comprehending all of that. Am I that dumb, ladies and gentlemen? Or am I that such a dummy that I can't see that clear? I don't think so. Well, I got to wrap it up here and get out of the way and clear the old voice and make ready for my Great America with Jimmy Butch. But here are, just so you can plan ahead, here are some stay safe ideas for Halloween. Many of you are grandparents and your grandkids are with you, and you'll be sending them out. Many of you are parents, two-parent homes or one-parent home, and you're sending your kids out. Here's some safety factors from the North Carolina Department of Transportation. Through its Watch for Me NC pedestrian and bicycle safety program, is encouraging parents, motorists, and trick-or-treaters to be safe. More than 2,100 pedestrians are injured or killed in collisions with motor vehicles in North Carolina each year, and over half of those collisions occur in the evening or at night. Thousands of children are expected to be walking outside on October 31st. Now, to ensure Halloween is safe and fun, parents should plan and discuss a safe route trick-or-treaters intend to follow and establish a return time. Instruct your children to travel only in familiar areas and along the established routes. Make sure that an adult or an older responsible youth will be supervising the outing for children under 12. Make sure your child carries a flashlight, glow stick, or reflective tape on their costume to make them more visible to motorists. It's so hard to see somebody dressed in black out there without some kind of reflective tape. Let children know to stay together as a group if trick-or-treating without an adult. Receive all appropriate safety precautions, including pedestrians and traffic safety rules. Children trick-or-treating should stay in familiar neighborhoods along an established route and stop only at familiar homes unless accompanied by an adult. Walk on sidewalks, not in the street. If there are no sidewalks, walk facing traffic and off the road as far from traffic as possible. Cross streets and crosswalks when available. Look both ways before crossing streets and cross when the lights tell you to cross after you check for cars in all directions. Carry a flashlight, wear clothing with reflective markings or tape, and stay in well-lit areas. Wear a watch you can read in the dark. Don't cut across yards or driveways. And motorists, those that will be out driving during this time, listen. Drive slowly through residential streets and areas where people could be walking. Watch for children darting out from behind parked cars. Watch for children walking on roadways, medians, and curbs. Enter and exit driveways and alleys carefully. And at dusk and in the evening, watch for children in dark clothing. That's some ideas and tips to make it a safer Halloween. I want to go ahead and give you those early because we'll have a busy morning tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind. And the Watch Me NC program started in 2012. It's a collaborative effort to reduce pedestrian and bicycle-related crashes through enhanced education and enforcement of safety laws. Just be careful, and for goodness sakes, if you're going to be out driving after dark on Saturday night, please don't be drinking, because these kids are having fun and they're getting excited about the candy. They may dart across the road, so just be extra cautious during that time. It's very, very important. Our kids are precious, and we need to keep them safe. We need to keep their minds safe, the hearts safe, and we need to be preparing the kind of thing to help them build into great citizens and understand who they are and what sex they belong to. 8:57, and news coming up here in just a few moments. And following that, it'll be My Great America with Jim and Woods, all right here live on WCAB. Meanwhile, let me remind you, we're being kind to Donna Hughes. Donna's a real estate agent, and she's having a birthday today, so let's make it a good one for Donna Hughes. If you know her, give her a call. Congratulate her on being the Be Kind 2 person here on WCAB in Rutherford.
From the county seat in Rutherford to the foothills of the Carolinas, you're listening to the best of both worlds. 100.9 FM
WCAB.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. There appears to be a deal on the framework of the Build Back Better plan that President Biden has been pushing for months. The president will speak in a little over 2 hours. Here's ABC's Karen Travers in Italy ahead of the president's G20 summit this weekend.
President Biden is presenting House Democrats with the framework of a $1.75 trillion social spending plan that administration officials say he believes has the support of all 50 Democratic senators and can pass the House. But that is still far from certain. There's been a significant effort by the White House to lock down the support of two key Democratic senators, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, but House progressives are not yet signaling they're on board. Karen Travers, ABC News, Rome.
On Capitol Hill today, top oil executives who will testify about how their products affect climate change.
Lawmakers claim that though the companies have acknowledged the negative environmental impact and promised to change, that they've barely invested in greener energy. In 2010, Shell made a pledge to transform into a net zero emissions energy business by 2050 or sooner. And yet, according to the documents released from the company, little action took place.
That's ABC's Faith Abube at the Capitol. The number of people filing for unemployment continues to fall. The Labor Department is out with weekly numbers. Here's ABC's Dave Packer.
New jobless claims fell to a pandemic low last week, down 10,000 to 281,000, the lowest level since March of last year. Hiring slowed last month to just 194,000 new jobs after averaging over 600,000 a month for the first 8 months of the year. But part of that's because companies can't find enough people to fill job openings. There were over 10 million job openings in August. That's the second most since 2000.
Hampered by persistent supply shortages, the U.S. economy slowed to a 2% annual rate in the third quarter as well. Former NHL player Kyle Beach, after an independent investigation commissioned by the Chicago Blackhawks confirming his allegations, he was sexually assaulted 11 years ago by his then coach. You're listening to ABC News.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Cleaning up again in Lake Charles, Louisiana, the same town hit by Hurricanes Laura and Delta, struck by an EF2 tornado. Nearly 40 homes damaged. Back to negotiations again for the U.S. and Iran to try and salvage the 2015 nuclear deal.
For the first time, Iran setting a timeline for its return to the nuclear talks. That just days after Secretary of State Antony Blinken warned the window for diplomacy was closing. Iran's chief nuclear negotiator, Ali Bagheri Khani, tweeting Tehran will resume negotiating, quote, before the end of November, though he did not give a date. The White House cautiously saying it'll wait for confirmation from European partners. It remains unclear if Iran's new hardline president will honor the agreements already reached after 6 rounds of previous talks in Vienna, or if he'll demand significant changes. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
And this holiday shopping season could be a record breaker.
The National Retail Federation is predicting holiday sales will shatter last year's record-breaking season, rising as much as 10.5% over last year. We'll spend nearly $860 billion, they're betting, despite ongoing supply chain issues. They're offering some advice. We've heard it before from retailers if you're looking for something specific, especially if it's expected to be a popular item this holiday season, buy it as soon as you see it. You might miss out on Black Friday or Cyber Monday savings, but they say if you wait, you may not be able to find it at all. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Hello and happy Thursday. Rain showers are on the way, and we'll see scattered showers arriving later on this afternoon. Highs today are in the mid to upper 60s. Some heavy rain is possible through the afternoon and evening commute. Those rain showers will continue off and on overnight tonight. A few thunderstorms are possible as well. Some lingering rain showers still in the forecast for your Friday morning commute, and a few showers still in the forecast as well Friday afternoon, drier through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Zach. We are moving up the scale a little bit. We started out at 45. We're now at 48, on our way to 59 for a daytime high. And rain coming back in later this afternoon and tonight. And the wind gusting today about 15 miles per hour. So we're going to have some of all that. But the weekend is looking mighty good. It's 9:05. This is WCAB Rutherford, serving the foothills of the Carolinas.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
You know, I was just listening about Butch. There are a lot of great things about America. We have a lot of scars and blemishes, but there's a lot of great things about America, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Absolutely. No, good morning, Jim. And you know, this baby is about to be born. My mother's home closing happens tomorrow. And then I'll be on an airplane from Newport News, which is a little airport less than 5 minutes from her house. It's just a stone's throw away, literally, from Williamsburg, which, of course, has so much steeped history of America. And I've got to go north to come south. I'm flying from tomorrow from Newport News up to Philadelphia, little short break, and then Philadelphia to Greenville, Spartanburg. And I'll have somebody pick me up there. It's probably going to be Pat Jobe. Pat and Gabriel Jobe have often said, hey, you know what, we love the chance to catch up with you. And so, you know, often with their rescue dog, Pooh, we're in the car, and it's like an ardent, just aggressive at points, Democrat, and a Jesus-driven Republican, Jim, are in the car together for however long it takes to get home.
Well,
That's
you know,
miracle.
what can I say?
I don't know. But you know what, Jim, there's a lot you could say. And I know God's at work in your heart and life, because often when that volleyball gets set up for you to spike if you want to, I've watched you so many times, Jim, just say, you know what? Discretion is the better part of valor here right now.
Well, you know, they told Jesus, wonder why Jesus is going home to eat with the sinners. So they questioned him about those kind of things as well.
Okay, well, I'll make sure that I tell Pat Joe when he picks me up. Jim Bishop was real clear in saying that you're a sinner. We're all sinners. We all. Now, listen, we don't want to start any kind of conflicts in the county, Jim. You know, at my church, we're to Faith Fellowship. We are so committed to just bring Jesus to people. And look, we're not perfect, but we're asking God every day to change us, and He's doing that. But that's a long-winded way of saying that I'm really looking forward to being home, and my home is there. And Jim, next week is a 4-year anniversary of when I first came to Rutherford County, and I've come to love our county so much. I've come to appreciate all the things that God wants to do in our county, and the light and life that WCAB has been. You know, I every time I drive in there and look at those old satellite dishes, I think about the fact that, you know, WCAB has been an enduring word, you know, a positive word, a Judeo-Christian foundation word and platform for so long. Those dishes, Jim, are a reflection of technology we've moved beyond, right?
Absolutely. And this year, 55 years we've been broadcasting from this hillside right here.
Right. And that is not insignificant. And you know what? We often will talk about the fact that only in heaven will we ever know the impact of all the things that we've done. We do know that our words, what we say, what we do, how we invest our time, how we invest our money, you know, all those things at the end of the end, Jim, they all only matter if they measure up to the one to whom we give our allegiance and our devotion. It's not a political party. It's certainly not a president. It's not a fan club. The God of the universe makes it very clear. It's appointed unto people once to die, and after that, the judgment. But, all right, so, Jim.
Yes.
This morning, I got word from afar, and you tell me if this is right. And by the way, in the background, people may or may not be able to hear this. The Norfolk Shipyard and Naval Air Station has helicopters, including Apache helicopters and others, that do touch and goes at the airport, the Patrick Henry Airport, just behind me. So there's a helicopter that's flying over just now. And it's our American military. This area is so steep in incredible history. You got Langley Air Force Base. It is the home of the 1st Fighter Wing, which is where we have our F-22s positioned to defend the entire East Coast. You've got Fort Eustis, the Army Transportation School. You've got the now-defunct Fort Monroe, which has been merged in. You've got the Newport News Shipyard. My pastor's father, Jane Whaley's father, used to work at the Newport News Shipyard. It's the only shipyard that makes the aircraft carriers that the United States has, which are superior and many more than any other country in the world. And we also make, I think, about half of the submarines. So every time I come here, Jim, I'm so steeped in not just history, Yorktown, Jamestown, Williamsburg, but also the reality that in a world, especially with China rattling its saber, this is a military footprint of America. And, of course, my mother is soon to move up into Amish country, and I won't have any more call-ins like this. But anyway, I went down a rabbit trail there, Jim, but it was a patriotic rabbit.
Oh, there's a lot of history right there in that area where you are right now. I could probably spend days there just soaking in all that history from days gone by, and I know you enjoy that as well.
Well, and my mother has a timeshare here, and so in Williamsburg. And so at some point, you and I need to talk about the possibility of maybe we need to do a Migrate America bus tour where we bring people from the county up to this part of Virginia. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to talk about Jim third person for a minute. You know what, anyone listening, you know what I love? I love that Jim trusts me enough where sometimes he said to me, hey, I don't know what you're going to say next, but I don't think it's going to be bad.
That's true. I trust you.
Okay, good. All right. Well, folks, you're hearing it on the air here. Now, Jim, we're gonna move into another area here. I heard in our conversation right before the program came on. Tell me if this is true. I believe it is. Did you see lights at the Chick-fil-A?
I did. Yes, as I came through this morning.
Give us a report. Give us a quick report there.
They have the signs up now. The signs were lighted, and the building was lighted. Of course, they're not open yet. I think next month is their official, if things go well. But it sure looked good on that hillside to see Chick-fil-A signs well lit. They got big signs standing up and some on the building. It really was excited to see Rutherford County and Forest City moving to the point where we can have a Chick-fil-A. Of course, they do their history before they decide to land somewhere. They know that it will be supported. Yes. So they did a lot of research before deciding Forest City was the place they need to go next. And so now they've settled and they've got the building almost complete. And it really was exciting to see the Chick-fil-A signs all lit up this morning.
That is so good. And Jim, our listeners who've been with us since the beginning here on My Great America will probably remember that I said that when I was the vice president of marketing for Pat Robertson up at CBN and Regent University, I would often be given the privilege and the opportunity to go to lunch with guests off the 700 Club. And one of the guests that I distinctly remember was Truett Cathy, who founded Chick-fil-A. And this would have been back in 1989, I think, a while back.
Mm-hmm.
But, a lot of history of Chick-fil-A is known. But what's not known as well is that Truett Cathy, through his Windshape Foundation, has a passionate commitment to young people, to mentoring and the like. It's one of the reasons why I'm trying to figure out, with God's help, how to connect R.J. Aiken, who's a treasure in our community, for mentoring of at-risk youth in the county with the WindShape Foundation, because Truett Cathy organized that around a principle. And you know what he said, Jim? He said it's easier to build boys than mend men.
Oh, it's profound.
That was a seminal concept for what became Chick-fil-A. And what a lot of people don't realize is, unlike other fast food places, Chick-fil-A has got an extremely disciplined approach to employee development. I mean, it's more than just my pleasure. It's more than just my pleasure. I mean, how does somebody justify a $7 chicken sandwich? Well, in part, it's because the bathrooms are clean, the place is sweet, and all the folks at any Chick-fil-A are going to say, my pleasure. It's really, to me, it's such an incredible story. And to know that Truett Cathy had as a dying wish, and Dan Cathy, his son, is somebody I've dealt with, Bubba Cathy, who's the chaplain, that whole family, they were a client at one point. I used to fly down to Atlanta and meet there, Jim. And it's just I'm so encouraged that they're going to be in our county.
One of the things I've appreciated about the philosophy of Chick-fil-A is, over the years, that they have stood by their principles, what they believe in, and have not bent and bowed to the pressure of society. Whatever the names they've been called because of their Christian principles, they just kept right on, moving right on for the things they believe very strongly in. And they have not only just talked the talk, they walk the walk, and people have to appreciate that kind of philosophy in business.
You know what, Jim? I completely agree with that. And when you said they haven't bent, I'm not sure if you said bent or bowed. We sing a song at my church at Word of Faith Fellowship. We're not bowing, we're not bending, we're not giving up. We are kind of a church that is Chick-fil-A in that way. It's like, Jesus, whatever you tell us, we're going to do. And when we miss it, we're going to repent. And we're not perfect, but you're changing us. And for that, we're so grateful. Now, Jim, I was talking to Todd again, and Todd helps me in so many, when it comes to anything related to guns, or, I'm sure that it's not I'm talking about Second Amendment gun-related issues. When it comes to any questions I have about guns, he seems to have a lot of knowledge there. When it comes to any background as it relates to the county and history. But you know what? When I asked him a question right before we came on the air, I said, Todd, I'm feeling led for us to do a call-in. And I feel like, I remember it's 4 years, Jim, and I won't talk about anniversary dates anymore. It's 4 years in a week and 2 days. I came to Rutherford County. But you know what? One of the first experiences I ever had?
No.
Okay. You know what? If I was sitting in the green room there with you, in the blue room, I'd see that look in your face where whenever I ask, do you know what? And then it's like, where is he going with this? Well, this is going to just a sweet place. You know, the sweet place is, I never knew what a Cajun filet biscuit was, Jim. I never had heard those words put together. Cajun filet biscuit. And then I learned that the only way you should ever eat that, ingest that, is with a sweet tea. Jim, I'm confessing this. I had no idea what a sweet tea was.
Really?
No, I know now I've lost all credibility in the county. But
you're learning. You're learning.
I'm sorry?
You're learning.
Okay, well, I am learning. So, but when you put all of that together, Cajun filet biscuit and a sweet tea like only Bojangles can do, that's when you start to realize, hey, you know what? I'm learning the language of Rutherford County. Right?
That's exactly right.
Cajun filet biscuit for Bojangles with a sweet tea.
Well,
Now, Jim,
I'll have to admit, Cajun is not my favorite, but I know a lot of folks do enjoy that.
Oh, okay. Now let me ask you this question: are you open to the possibility of us asking anyone who's listening right now if you had to pick a biscuit from Bojangles or Hardee's? You know, Bojangles or Hardee's. It's the morning, getting your coffee. You can only get it from Bojangles or Hardee's. Who would you pick? Are you okay if we put the number out?
I'm open to that. 287-3356. Call us and let us know which is your favorite.
287-3356. Would you prefer a chicken biscuit from Bojangles or one from Hardee's? And Todd will come in before we end here in about 10 minutes and let us know. Now, you know what I didn't realize, Jim? I didn't realize that North Carolina, of course, first in freedom. A lot of folks don't realize, there's been this patriotic impulse in our state from the beginning. We are like strong, and I'm saying we now because I am a North Carolinian. We're strong when it comes to faith and freedom. But you know what a lot of folks don't realize is that we also have incubated a lot of different companies. For example, it's an aside here. I remember spending time up in, I think it's Winston-Salem at the corporate headquarters of Dunkin'. No, not Dunkin' Donuts. Krispy Kreme. Isn't that true? They're up there.
I think so. Yeah, they originally started in Spartanburg.
Yeah, and they just had their 80th anniversary. But I've known through the years of all of their support, for example, of rescue missions and food banks and the other. And North Carolina has a rich philanthropic tradition, but Bojangles started in Charlotte in 1977, and Jack Polk was the one who sold the Bojangles concept to a now defunct company called Horn and Harcourt. And it grew a lot from the beginning. And part of the growth was fueled by acquisitions, including the Florida-based biscuits chain. And then in 1990, Horn and Harcourt said most of the interest, sold it to Sienna Partners, and the company was then headed up by the former KFC executive, Dick Campbell, in 1994. And they tried a public offering, went through a lot of different things. Bojangles continued to expand. They started their first college campus location on the grounds of Central Piedmont Community College in 2005. And then they purchased the naming rights to the original Charlotte Coliseum on Independence Boulevard. And then Bojangles was purchased again in 2007 by Foritas Capital Partners. It was a private equity firm. And the first airport location was opened in 2008 at the Charlotte Douglas Airport. And in 2011, they were sold again. But you know what? In the midst of all of it, Jim, it's a North Carolina company, and it's us, isn't it?
It really is, and it has a great, although it has changed, it has a great history. That's one of those companies that just keeps continuing to grow, and we're fortunate to have them right here in Forest City.
You know what? My dear friend Douglas McDonald, we walked down a journey trying to get him veterans benefits because of his Parkinson's that was induced by Agent Orange when he served our country so faithfully there in Vietnam. He used to love to go to Bojangles to get a biscuit. But you know what he introduced me to, Jim? He introduced me to something I never knew about, or maybe it was just me avoiding the obvious. He introduced me to McDonald's Senior Coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. I know you're going to speak truthfully. Do you take advantage of senior offers wherever you go?
I do. When they're offered, I sure do. And speaking of McDonald's Senior Coffee, their coffee is some of the best in the area.
Okay, now with great respect to small town coffee roasters and Monty, who's down there, I would say if you need to get a cup of coffee, I'm just saying this for me, not Jim. You need to get a cup of coffee, go to Court Street, go to small town coffee roasters. They've got fair trade ground coffees from around the world. It's the best coffee, I believe, in the county. And if you can't, for some reason, get in there, or you miss the time period to get in, and by the way, Julia there at Small Town Coffee Roasters makes unbelievable confections. her gluten-free blueberry muffins, chocolate muffins. They've got scones. She's an incredible treasure as well. And really, that next to Liz Berry, I just think she bakes some of the best stuff around. But wherever you go, you and I both believe this, don't we, Jim, that it's important, if you can, to buy local and encourage local businesses.
Oh, absolutely. Every chance you get. It's important to keep the money at home.
You know what? That's very quotable. That's quotable. It's important to keep the money at home. Okay, so I was learning here recently, too, in my journey to become more facile and efficient in speaking what Todd and I talk about as North Carolina, quote unquote. Jim, I heard a term that I'd not known before, and the term is leafers. 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 Do you know what that is?
Leafers. No, I don't.
Okay. You know what? Faye may call me at some point and say, you know what, Jim is not really appreciating you putting him to test on the air.
I don't know. It's my pleasure.
Okay, great. My pleasure. We got the Chick-fil-A. You've done a great job in weaving that thing. Okay, so leafers, from what I have been told, these are people, Jim, from out of state who come to our part of North Carolina during the peak leaf season because they want to drive the Blue Ridge Parkway. They want to oogle at the leaves. They want to, okay, it says here, clog up the interstates. I'm not saying that. But what lies beneath those beautiful auburn and orange trees is a whole lot of history. And you know what? For folks that have lived here so long, I've said this to people that have been Rutherford County. I mean, Pat Job's family, he told me, goes back 5 generations, Jim. 5. And I've told people that have been in this part of western North Carolina, I've traveled to every inhabited continent. I've been to 104 countries. I don't believe there's a more beautiful place than the place God has planted me. Right here, right now.
I agree with that. I agree with that, absolutely.
Right. And you know what, Jim? You have been a standard bearer to the county for so long in encouraging people to get beyond our sometimes senseless and silly debates and a lack of understanding. At the end of the day, all we want is what Jesus called us to. He called us to live life in a way that would invite people to know him. And greater love, it's in John, greater love has no one than to lay down their life for a friend. And Jim, you know, as we come up on a 4-year anniversary for me of being in Rutherford County, and we're well over 130 episodes now of My Great America with Jim and Butch. I just want to make sure that you hear me say this in the sound of whatever voice is being heard right now. I'm so grateful that through all the technology changes, through all the political changes, for all the personal changes, and for all of the fights that have happened in our county, some of which are ill-advised and certainly not driven by God, I'm so grateful that you have made it a point to say, we are going to be a proclaimer of truth. And WCAB, you know, I've consulted for major radio networks around the world. WCAB to me is a righteous platform for bringing truth in ways that are relevant, provocative, and interesting. And I sure hope people feel that today.
I appreciate those words. It's humbling to hear you say that, but we do our best to try to do what we're supposed to do. And it's, you know, challenging sometimes, but with God's guidance and wisdom, we'll carry on.
You know what? It feels sometimes, and we're about to get off the air, Jim, it feels sometimes when you give such a salutary benediction, in my heart, it's almost like I need to call my horse over, jump up in the saddle, and just slap it and say, okay, we're moving on together.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on the program. We look forward to having you back in the Blue Room next week, and you be safe in your travels.
On Tuesday.
God bless America.
My Great America.
Thank you for joining us for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Join us each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:05 for this enlightening program on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. It's My Great America with Jim and Butch.